Hi, I'm Ken Ham, President of Answers in Genesis, the Creation Museum, and the Ark Encounter, and I'm here at the front of the Creation Museum. We're going to be welcoming two more of our shuttle buses for the Ark that should be coming in any moment now, and I thought I'd just get on here, give a little bit of time for people to get notified we're doing this live broadcast, and then I'm going to show you these shuttle buses. One of them has the new Ark wrap on the side of it, and we want you to see that. It's quite spectacular. So we're just getting ready here for these two shuttle buses to arrive. They've been traveling across California, and they've been stopping at various churches and places on the way. On our social media, you can go there on the Facebook for the Ark Encounter and Creation Museum, my own personal Facebook too, and we talk about the competition that we have, a photographic competition, and they've been giving away, or will be giving away, some passes to the Ark, so you can find more about that by looking at our social media. So what we're going to do is, as we welcome these two buses in and we show you this new wrap that's on here, we'll talk a bit about the shuttle buses and what's happening down at the Ark. And then after that I want to walk you through the gardens, because the gardens have really come on now, because spring is basically over and we're into summer, and we should be able to see some spectacular growth in the gardens. These are some of those beautiful gardens you'll ever see here at the Creation Museum. It's one of the differences between the Creation Museum and the Ark. The Ark's not going to have all these beautiful gardens, certainly not to start with. It's a very different sort of place. Here in the area where the Creation Museum is built, we have this beautiful mature lake here, and all the waterfalls and gardens, and this is one of the features of the Creation Museum, will remain one of the features of the Creation Museum too, as we continue to enhance the Creation Museum. I think we have a bus coming in now. I'll see. Here we go, all the way from California. They're built in California. These are remanufactured buses, and they're taken and stripped down and renewed from the bottom up, basically. And this is the first one of two that's arriving. We've already had three arrive, and they're getting ready for our July 7 opening. Here it comes. You can see the Ark Encounter on the front there. It's digital, and as they come up here, I wanted to show you this. This is a beautiful wrap. This is the Ark wrap, and let's have a look at this Ark wrap here as we go along. Here's Eddie, who's traveled all the way from California. He's one of our staff members. And Eddie, you want to come over here for a second?
Certainly.
And just talk into my microphone
sure
there,
will.
But I bet you'll be glad to be home.
I am very glad to be home.
So
we got a little separated. The other bus will be coming in right behind us. It got us separated off the exit.
Well, that's fine. Can you shut the doors for a moment?
Dave, could you shut the doors for us?
And we'll shut those doors. There we are. Let's just walk along the side here and just show people. This is one of the wraps for the shuttle buses. There's a few different wraps. On one side it's a wrap about the Ark, and on the other side it's a wrap about the Creation Museum. So let's just walk along here and show people this one. You know, at the Ark, the shuttle bus ride from the parking lot to the Ark is going to be actually a feature in itself.
Absolutely, it's first experience.
It'll be a phenomenal ride. And as we come here, we see the second bus coming in now. So how long did it take you? How many days?
We left Tuesday morning from Riverside, California.
Okay.
And coming in here Sunday, so 6 days of driving.
6 days of driving. I'm sure you're tired.
I am.
So let's just have a look at this bus, and we'll walk around both buses here. So here we go as we walk around here. And we can even have a quick look in here. Let's just jump in here. So Eddie spent 6 days on one of these buses.
I did. It was comfortable.
It was? He said it was comfortable. But these aren't tour buses. They're not coaches. These are shuttle buses. And you can imagine all the people that will be sitting in these buses as they go from the parking lot then down that beautiful valley. You know, that is a ride in itself, just on the shuttle buses going down that beautiful valley across the creek. And we're taking them from the present world into Noah's world. So let's go back outside again here. We can look a bit more down the front of the bus here as well. There's 11 of these shuttle buses altogether.
Right, 11
And
buses.
how many have we got here now?
I believe 5. I believe we have 5 buses here now.
So 6 more to come. Okay, so let's jump outside. And these are, as I was explaining, remanufactured buses, which means they take used buses, strip them down, rebuild them, and rebuild the engines, the diesel engines, and the transmissions, brand new transmissions, all the way from the ground up. So on this side, this advertises the Creation Museum and the Stargazers Planetarium, because the Stargazers Planetarium we have here at the Creation Museum, there's something we don't have at the Ark, of course. Creation Museum has a lot of very distinctive features that won't be at the Ark. The Ark has the Ark itself and the timber frame structure and also the exhibits inside the Ark. The Creation Museum is very different. And actually, between these two facilities, these two attractions, the Creation Museum and the Ark, their sister attractions, be two of the greatest Christian outreaches of our era of history. Oh, I love the dinosaur on this side here. Isn't that something? There he is. And of course, we feature a lot of dinosaurs at the Creation Museum. Not at the Ark. The Ark is very different. There may be a couple of animals that are within the dinosaur kind, what we call dinosaur kind today, on the Ark, but the Ark doesn't feature dinosaurs. The Creation Museum does. We'll have a look one more time at the side here at this spectacular wrap here of the Ark, and we see the Ark Encounter. And then Eddie will let you take these buses in. Security, you're going to park them around the back, I believe.
We will. Sure.
And you can take them in there. And you were Facebook videoing all the way along?
We were. We made stops every day at churches along the way. We were in Kingman, Arizona.
Hey, well, just for interest, and tell me, what were people saying about the Ark project?
It was exciting. As we met with the stops, there were lots of questions about the Ark Encounter, lots of excitement. It was neat at the fuel stops, rest stops, we'd have people come up to us and say, "What's this all about?"
Oh, really?
Some of them had heard of the project, some of them had not, but by the time I was done, they'd
all heard
all they needed to know.
And so Christians and others all across the country say they're coming?
Very much so, yes, very much so.
So you think we're going to get a lot of people
coming? I can count on that.
Yeah, I tell you, I think it's going to blow people out of the water how many people come. So, well, we'll let you go, and I'm sure those coach drivers are tired too.
They are.
I know they do this, but that's a long way to travel.
It is. They were wonderful.
What are they going to do? Fly back to California?
And
bring more out?
They are. They will fly in a couple hours. They're going to do it again.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll let you go, and I'm going to take people for a walk through the gardens.
Thank you, Jen.
There's Eddie, one of our staff members who traveled on these buses all the way across so that they could do social media as they travel across the country. They stopped at various churches that we know support us and met people. And as he was saying, at the rest stops and gas stations when they stopped, people were coming up and asking all about it, which I can understand that when they see these sorts of buses, understanding why they would want to find out what is this that's going on here. So these buses are just so beautifully done. The bus ride, somebody is asking in the comments here, yes, I can see your comments as I'm doing this live broadcast, how long the bus ride is. It's a mile, and you go down from the parking lot down into a valley and cross a creek, and then you go up the other side, but it's a mile. And that in itself, I think, is just a wonderful thing. I think people are going to just love the experience. I don't know of any other themed attraction, amusement park where you have a mile shuttle ride bus, a mile shuttle ride on a bus that's beautifully wrapped like this, but it takes you down such a beautiful valley. I mean, you really do have that whole sense of you're leaving the modern world and coming into Noah's world. Well, let me take you on a walk through the gardens. I'm here at the Creation Museum, so I may as well take you through the gardens. I've done this before, but they were just starting to spring back into life for the start of this year, but I know that they have now matured a lot, and there are some people that come here because they just want to walk through the gardens more than anything, and they are beautiful. It's a lovely place to come bring your family, stroll through here. We have some picnic pavilions over here. But of course, people come and go to the museum, get on the zip lines. This is a wonderful family-friendly facility. You can see the waterfalls here to the right. We're crossing one of the bridges. We have 3 bridges actually. One is a suspension bridge that people like to have fun on. You can see the beautiful waterfalls there. We're getting ready for all the increased crowds because of the Ark, and one of the things you'll see here is they're starting to prepare some of the trails. So the Creation Museum this year, we, not that long ago really, put in the Allosaur. Somebody's asking if there's any new exhibits. Well, the newest exhibits is the $1.5 million Allosaur exhibit. By the way, you can see here to the right where they're getting ready to put in the wider trails here, ready for all the increased traffic. A Green family from Hobby Lobby put in a mini museum of the Bible in Palm Plaza, and they change that out from time to time. I think the one that's in there now has been in there for about 6 months or so. And the Insectorium is absolutely phenomenal. They're going to be working on repurposing a whole area after you come through the Tower of Babel, then dealing with Christ Cross consummation. We're putting in an archaeological exhibit. That won't be open for this summer, but it will be open for next year. An archaeological exhibit and much more on Christ Cross consummation. The gardens here are absolutely spectacular. Oh, I see a dinosaur over there in our bog area. Yes, there he is, look at that. And the bog has really come on now because of the rains we've had, spring rains, and of course the beautiful weather springing back into life. Look at that beautiful sky today. Beautiful blue sky, clouds. We pray we could have weather like this for the next 4 weeks, really help all the construction workers down the Ark. Although, you know, so much is going on inside now, but they still have some outside groundwork to do, and we really pray we'll get good weather like this. Look, even just looking in here in the bog, and you see those beautiful purple flowers there, and you know, if I had our horticulturalist with us, I'm sure they would know the name of every one of these plants, but I'm not a horticulturalist, I admit that. But some of the carnivorous plants I see down there, right here near this bridge as we walk across the bog, and I know there's other carnivorous plants in there too. So as we come around here, I just love these gardens. I'll be interested to see, I've been so busy down with the Ark and traveling and speaking that I haven't been to the gardens here for a little bit, and I'm just looking at these. This is basically, it's like a Japanese garden, and wow, it is so beautiful in here. Let me see, one of the questions here. So the Ark Encounter opens this July 7. Yes, absolutely it does. How many days do you suggest to see the Creation Museum and the Ark? Well, okay, so an Ark ticket, we actually have it as a one-day ticket, but the Creation Museum ticket is a 2-day ticket because it has been like that. And so if you buy a combo ticket for the Ark and the Creation Museum, the Creation Museum is a 2-day ticket. The Ark is only a 1-day ticket. But, you know, I tell you, I was down there recently and just walking through the Ark and realizing how much time people are going to spend there. I think a lot of people are going to want to spend at least 2 days at the Ark and 2 days at the Creation Museum. I mean, just to enjoy the gardens, and then to go to the planetarium, and then to go to the special effects theater, and then the whole walk through. I find a lot of families say, wow, there's so much to look at here. We've gone through, now we want to go through again, want to experience it again. And then we have different presentations in our 900-seat theater. Sometimes I give presentations. We have workshops that are going on, workshops for children, workshops for adults. So you can see I could easily spend 2 days at the Creation Museum. And the Ark, when I consider the size of the Ark, it is so enormous. You know what I'm going to suggest to people? We just released a brand new website, arkencounter.com. Arkencounter.com. It's totally redone, and on that website we have now released our new ticketing options, and the best value is the $99 7-day unlimited ticket. For 7 consecutive days, you have unlimited visits to the Ark, unlimited visits to the Creation Museum. Parking is included because down at the Ark parking will be $10. It's a massive parking lot, cost millions of dollars to build. I'm just looking at one of these other questions here. Coming in July from Grants Pass. Oh, okay, can't wait to see it. Oh, love that. What is the actual distance between the Ark and the Creation Museum location? Good question. It takes 45 minutes to drive it. It's about 40 miles, 45 minutes, very easy driving. From the Creation Museum, you get on Interstate 275. We're right at the interchange at exit 11. And you get on Interstate 275, you go east, you hit Interstate 75, which is the second busiest north-south interstate in America, and you go south, and then you get off at exit 154, and the Ark is right at that interchange. So the Ark is right on the Interstate 75, the Creation Museum is right on the Interstate 275, and they are 45 minutes apart to drive them. And so that was a good question, which I appreciate people asking. Feel free to ask what other questions you can. I can't guarantee I can answer all of them because we're walking around here. Are you going to be at the Ark opening day? Well, of course. I wouldn't miss that for anything. I'll be there opening day, July 7, and be there to meet people, and I can show you my favorite selfie spots down there at the Ark as well. So yes, I'll be down there. Probably a number of our staff that you might be familiar with will be down there. So we walk around the gardens here, coming over to our picnic pavilion area. We have a sluice over here. The sluice, children love this. You can actually purchase a bag, and when you purchase the bag, it's filled with minerals and all sorts of sand and dirt and so on, and they take it over here, and then they can pan it and get out those minerals and take them home. And it really is quite something, and kids really love that. This is Sunday afternoon. The museum has only just opened up Sunday afternoon, so there's cars coming in. I see people starting to come in, but it's just a nice relaxed afternoon. And during the week, and of course on Saturdays, we open at 10 o'clock in the morning, and so it becomes very busy. Okay, somebody else has asked me here, could the combo ticket also be 1 day at the Creation Museum and 2 days at the Ark? And the answer is, that's not the way it works. Sorry about that. It's 1 day at the Ark and 2 days at the Creation Museum, because the Creation Museum tickets have been 2-day tickets for years. So we're maintaining that. That's why we're doing that. And the Ark, as a brand new facility, and because we know there's a lot of people that are coming, again, go to arkencounter.com. You'll see the combo tickets there, but you'll also see our $99 unlimited ticket. And one of the reasons we're doing that is because then people can visit other attractions in the area, and they can go back and forward between the Ark and the museum as much as they want over 7 days. And for the first 40 days and 40 nights, the Ark is actually open. We have two times, daytime entry, evening time entry, so it's open till midnight and opens at 9 in the morning. The Creation Museum will have extended hours from 9 in the morning till 9 at night. And so those that get the unlimited ticket, they can come anytime, and that gives them great opportunity, and then great opportunity to see other attractions in the area. I see some people setting up a picnic over there. Looks like maybe some sort of, must be some class. Looks like probably a graduation class or class reunion maybe. Yeah, people come here and enjoy these gardens. See the banana trees? Would you believe we have banana trees in northern Kentucky? Well, we do. This whole rainforest area here grows up after spring. We have some very talented horticulturalists who know how to chop all this down for winter. In winter, this is basically bare ground here. And look at all this that's come back. I mean, it's absolutely amazing as you see it. And these plants get bigger and bigger over the summer. By the middle of summer, some of these plants are amazing in their size. Let's see, we have a question here. Will the parking accommodate, let me see, motorhomes? Yes, we have a 4,000 parking lot, 4,000 space parking lot at the Ark. The Creation Museum, the parking lot is nowhere near as big as that. We're actually just expanding that. We've got all sorts of plans ready for the increased traffic that we'll get, but at the Ark, motorhomes can be parked there, no problem. And we park motorhomes here at the Creation Museum too. We take them over to the back and put them in our back lot as well. We can't have tractor trailers in here at the Creation Museum. They can have to go and put their trailer somewhere and then come, but at the Ark we can accommodate them. Now let's go, I think we'll go with the suspension bridge. Let's see, this might be a little bumpy, but that's the fun of it all. And I know kids love this, parents love this. This is one of the bridges we have here. And here we go, we're going across this little valley here, and you'll be able to look down and see the waterfall down here. And it's just beautiful and relaxing to go through these gardens. Again, this is a feature at the Creation Museum, these beautiful gardens. The new parking area as we build it, and we've just got all the permission to build that, is over the back here. But I'm just looking down there, and do I see a duck and its ducklings? Let's see if we can zoom in on those little ducklings there. Can we see those down there? It's a little hard with the sun as we look into the iPhone here, but we're trying to see if we can show you that. That is just such a wonderful sight, a reminder of spring as well. Well, we're now basically almost officially in summer, but we have lots of animals around here. We have peacocks that roam around, we have ducks, geese, and of course we have the petting zoo here with some really unique animals, some beautiful animals. And I can see some of the flowers coming back now on down there with the water lilies. We can see other plants that have really grown up since winter. And as we come across the suspension bridge, you're probably jumping around a little bit with us here as we go across here, and come down, and I want to show you a beautiful picture of the museum from over here. Now, as we come up into this area, let's just walk up here and then we'll walk back here. Over the back there is the petting zoo. You can sort of see it between some of the plants over there. And we have an area where people can have camel rides as well. We have a couple of really, really friendly camels in the petting zoo, and they just love people. And in the petting zoo here, kids are able to go in there and feed the animals. We have a couple of wallabies from Australia, and a zorse and a zonkey. I thought I'd just show you this little area here, and the beautiful roses. Look at the rose garden. It's just so beautiful to see all these plants just declaring the glory of God. And you see the beauty and what God has created. Over there behind where you see all that grass, that's going to be cleared over the next couple of months, 2-3 months, and that's where the parking is going to be going in there, the new parking. So we're going to try and get whatever we can of that done. But let me see, we're creating a parking lot here, about an extra 1,000 car spaces here at the Creation Museum. So let's walk back down the path here as we swing around again. And you can see why these gardens have actually been written up in magazines, and we'll walk around here. I see one of our safety officers walking around because we want people to know that we really look after them and look after this place. Is there a campground nearby for, let me see what that's saying, for tent camping? Actually, there are some places. If you just Google Northern Kentucky, I think if you go to the creationmuseum.org site, we actually have 1 or 2 campgrounds listed on there. I know there's one across the river in Indiana. I know there's a couple of other places as well. I think even the National Park, Big Bone Lick. There's other places around I think on the creationmuseum.org site right now we have some camping sites, and there's lots of other places to stay. There's a Christian facility in this area too called Potter's Ranch. I believe that is on the, we have that on our website. How large is the entire Ark exhibit in correlation to the Creation Museum? Okay, that's a good question. Now, inside the Ark, there's about 120 to 130,000 square feet in the 3 decks, and then you've got the 3 towers, but the 3 towers house the restrooms and also house the exit stairs and the elevators. And so we did that so that the Ark anchors to those 3 towers, and then we keep the inside of the ship for exhibits. And some of those exhibits extend out into the ship, some are in exhibit bays. I was just down there yesterday walking through, and you can go and see a previous post of mine where I did that. But the Creation Museum has about 70,000 square feet, and then we have all our offices here too. We'll go down here and I'll show you a video. You'll be able to see that. You see the museum over there in the background on the left, and then on the right, going right down, we have the offices, the main offices for our Creation Museum. Now we have another facility at Hebron, which is 1 exit away, where we have all our designers and fabricators and our warehouse and shipping and our print shop. So that's another facility. We rent that one. This one we own, and the Ark Encounter is owned by Answers in Genesis. But you see the Creation Museum over here, and you see the cafe. This is Noah's Cafe. You see the deck of the cafe right there. And then we see down behind that are the offices for the Creation Museum. Can't quite see it. If you look, there's 3 large trees up there, and behind that you sort of see the roof of a building, if you can see that. That's our observatory. We know of no other Christian facility that has an observatory like this, with the telescopes we have, the astronomy programs we have. We have some major telescopes and a number of others, and our astronomer, Dr. Danny Faulkner, who's in Indonesia right now speaking, but he runs astronomy programs. Even during the day, people can come and look at the sun through special filters. They can't just use an ordinary telescope to look at the sun. You've got to have very, very special filters. So we'll just walk around here, and there's the garden map you see on the sign here showing the Creation Museum, and parking lot A, parking lot B, parking lot C. What we're going to do in the summer, knowing there's going to be a lot of extra people coming, particularly once the Ark opens, all of our staff, and we have about 400 staff here, we have arranged with some churches nearby where we can park all the staff, and we have shuttle buses that'll be bringing our staff to and from. So it'll be a little bit of inconvenience for our staff, but they want as everyone to come to the Creation Museum, and so they know we're on a mission, and so they're prepared to do that. So come down here, you can see, you might be able to see the zip line. Well, the start of the zip line course is up here near the museum. If you can see it, there's a free fall there as well. And then this first zip line, there's 2 of them that go across the lake. Very unique as you go across the lake. I've done that, and it is exciting. And that zip line course goes down there, and you'll see a whole challenge course down there as well. Well, the zip line course, there's 27 zip lines, about 2.2 miles of zip lines. It goes back into the woods there. We have 70 acres here. We have 800 acres at the Ark. Now the Ark has zip lines too, and a number of them will be opened as soon as the Ark is opened, and that course eventually will be 9 miles long, and some of those zip lines are over 2,000 feet long. You'll be able to zip by the Ark. Imagine that, a zip across a valley and right by the Ark. Here you can zip across this lake and down into the woods, and there's a couple of super zip lines as well. It's a wonderful place, a family-friendly facility. You can also look back over here now and see more of the observatory, where Dr. Danny Faulkner runs programs, and of course we have the planetarium as well, so you can do teaching programs in the planetarium and then come out here. Actually, the roof of that building actually moves across and allows the telescopes then access to the heavens, which is of course what you need for an observatory. So as we walk down here, we can see up the back here the petting zoo, all sorts of interesting critters in there. And we have some miniature goats that we were donated recently. Well, when I say miniature, they're smaller goats, but very, very friendly. They've been hand raised, and so they love people. I can see some of our staff in there right now diligently cleaning the pens, and they're very highly qualified too. Somebody's asking, is the ARC exhibit currently hiring, or are all the positions filled? If you are hiring, where would be the best place to go for that? Yes, they're currently hiring. There's quite a number of seasonal positions that have not been filled, and if you go to arkencounter.com, and when that comes up, then you'll see the first main picture there. Then underneath that you'll see 3 icons, and one says hiring, now hiring, jobs. Click on that and it'll take you to that page, and you can find out more about that from there. Also, if you go to answersingenesis.org, answersingenesis.org, and you look in all those menus at the bottom of the front page of the website, you'll see where it talks about positions, available jobs, and there's quite a number of people that we're looking for Answers in Genesis in our computer programming area, in our web department, in other areas as well. We have a number of positions there. So there are positions available at the ARC, and there are positions available at Answers in Genesis. So I encourage people to go to arkencounter.com, and you'll see the icon there that you click on to find out about positions at the ARC, and then go to answersingenesis.org and go down to the menus at the bottom, and you'll see a number of places there that you can click on, and one of them is for jobs, people that we're looking for who want to be a part of a growing, dynamic ministry that I believe is a cutting-edge ministry for this day and age. And we really are looking for some talented, gifted and experienced people in all sorts of different areas. Walking past here, the challenge course on the right, and there's a little zipline course for kids here as well. I often see little kids on here having fun as we go over here on the right. And then a lot of the zipline course goes back through those woods at the back there, and that is fun, actually, zipping through the trees. That in itself is an experience as you go through that wooded area. And I've done that. There are also sky bridges back there where you can walk across like you're walking in the top of the trees. So that's part of the zipline course here. Because we're just doing outside today. Inside is the whole walk through the Bible. Creation Museum is much more than just about creation evolution. It's a whole walk through the Bible, and the life-size exhibits and the animatronics. We have a 2-story dinosaur exhibit, a $1.5 million Allosaur exhibit. We have an insectorium that is absolutely spectacular. Animatronic Dr. Arthropod. We have an animatronic Noah that you can ask him questions and he'll answer you. The planetarium has a number of different programs. We usually offer at least 2 different programs a day. The Men in White Theatre is a special effects theatre, and we show the Last Adam program, one of those theatres as well. And then we have Legacy Hall, where we have special presentations during the day, sometimes concerts with Buddy Davis. It depends on which days that Buddy is here, but he's usually here 2 weeks out of every month to do those concerts and fun programs, and he does workshops too. And we also have workshops with Dr. David Menton. We have microscope workshops, lots of other workshops too. Depends on the day, depends on the weekend, depends on who's here. We have a specialist who comes in doing workshops dealing with snakes, live snakes. That's a fascinating one. We're walking past the observatory here right now, and a number of the telescopes that are up in there. One of them is actually a very significant, really famous telescope. It was used by NASA. It was contracted to NASA in the 60s to use for their what they said was the moon blink program, to look on the moon before they sent astronauts to the moon to understand more about some red flashes that we're seeing. And that was the telescope was used because it was invented by a man called Mr. Johnson, who actually invented this telescope. So we have the original hand-built one here that was donated to us, and it's really an historic telescope. But because of the way he put this extra mirror in, it makes it very, very clear, very sharp, and we're upgrading it right now with gears and some electronics, and it's a very, very important telescope, and we'll be using it for research. Dr. Denny Faulkner will be using it for research. So it is a telescope that is of that quality that it can be used for research. Looking back across the lake now at the petting zoo, you can see over the back here, and then the gardens that are over there, and you realize the gardens are much bigger than what people think they are when they first look at them as you walk through them. Horticulturists have done a great job. So there's some phenomenal distinctives between the Ark and the museum. The Ark itself is an exhibit, and then the timber frame structure, largest timber frame structure in the world. I mean, it's massive and it's spectacular, and people just stand in awe and their mouth drops. And then you've got all of these exhibits through the Ark that deal with animals and cages and animal kinds, and how Noah could fit them on the Ark, and how Noah looked after them, Noah's life. We've got blacksmith shop representation there in the Ark. We've got Noah's study, Noah's library, Noah's workshop, as well as we have teaching exhibits too, dealing with the Ice Age, dealing with fossils, teaching exhibits, dealing with what the Ark was like, that it wasn't one of those fairy tale arks. And the Museum of the Bible people from Hobby Lobby, the Green family, are putting in a significant exhibit there, and they're opening the big Museum of the Bible in Washington, D.C. in 2017. And so there's a number of major Christian facilities now in this nation. The Museum of the Bible will be open in 2017. Sight and Sound in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. It's a theater that does actually puts on these productions that are so spectacular. My understanding is they get more people there than you do at some of the New York theaters. So then you have the Creation Museum, and then you have the Ark Encounter. Is there a weight limit for the zip lines? Actually, there is. If you go on right now, we actually have the zip lines featured at arkencounter.com, but there's still more information to go in there. But if you go to creationmuseum.org, it'll tell you the weight. You've got to be a certain minimum weight to go on them, and height, I believe, but certainly minimum weight so that it will carry you down on the zip line. And then there's a maximum weight too, which I think is it'll hold some fairly large people, I believe, too. So, yep, we cater for all sizes, from young ones, from kids, all the way through to big basketball players or whatever. You can get on the zip lines, but there have to be limits, minimums and maximums. But go to creationmuseum.org to the zipline area, find out about that. And if you go to arkencounter.com, you'll find out a little bit about the zip lines at the Ark. They're still under construction, and they'll have a number of those ready for the opening July 7. So we're here now just on the side of the museum. You can see the zipline tower from the beginning of the zip lines up there. This is a little deck. It's built out into our lake, and people love to just sit here, have their lunch, or have a cup of coffee or an ice cream from Brewster's Ice Cream. You can see the fish in the water down there, and I know that they're a very healthy fish, actually. Let's see, we have another question here. This one is, hope to meet you. I'm trying to read it in the sun, it's very difficult. Hope to meet you this summer. Are you going to be at the Ark or Creation Museum July 28th and 29th? I'll be at one of them, okay? 28th and 29th, I'll be somewhere. Actually, if I'm speaking, if you go to the creationmuseum.org calendar of events, and when I'm speaking in Legacy Hall, they have that listed there. I can't guarantee what day I will or will not be available, simply because a lot of media requests come up. Sometimes I have to do radio interviews, TV interviews. Something will come up at the last minute where I have to travel somewhere, maybe to speak or maybe to do some media. But I'm going to try and be around as much in the summer as I can be. So what you do is you just ask a guest services person, is Ken Ham around today, and you know when he's going to be around, or at the museum or the Ark, or when he'll be available, and I'm sure they can find that out for you. So there we have it. We welcomed 2 of the new shuttle buses. It'll be an incredible ride for people from the parking lot to the Ark, mile ride down a beautiful valley. And then we finished up here at the Creation Museum, walking through the gardens, and we're right here outside of Noah's Cafe, actually, the side of the Creation Museum. So I am going to sign off. Thank you all for your comments and asking questions, and I'm pleased I was able to answer those for you, and look forward to seeing you here at the Ark. Well, we're not here at the Ark right now. We're here at the Creation Museum, but at the Ark and the Creation Museum. Again, go and look at our new website, arkencounter.com. We're going to be actually tweaking that over the next week or two, adding more things, and we had to get the basic website up. Very simple to be able to go and find tickets, and you'll be able to also find out about our $99 unlimited tickets, 7-day unlimited for 7 consecutive days. You can go back and forth to the Creation Museum and Ark as much as you want during the times they're opened, and for the first 40 days and 40 nights, the Creation Museum is open from 9 in the morning to 9 at night, and the Ark will be open from 9 in the morning till midnight, actually. So have a look at that. That enables you to come to other attractions in the area. And we also have on the arkencounter.com website a list of attractions in the area. We're going to add a couple more. We'll be adding Kings Island and the Reds to that list, but we already have Newport Aquarium and the Cincinnati Zoo, Dayton Air Force Museum, which by the way is free, and it is the best, biggest Air Force museum in the world. Phenomenal place to take your children to for a lesson in history, because they go through the Wright brothers, and then World War I, World War II, and the space age, and they have just about every type of airplane you've ever seen invented, and some of the interesting vehicles from the space program as well, some interesting artifacts from the Wright brothers, a replica of one of their planes. So I encourage you to go to places like that. These are all within driving distance of the Creation Museum and the Ark, also the Kentucky Horse Park. And there's just so many places around here that you could come and have your vacation in northern Kentucky, make this your vacation destination. So you have a great day. I went to church with my family this morning, and then after church rushed back here to the museum to welcome those 2 new buses from California for the Ark, and there'll be more coming over the next few weeks. So you have a great day.